You know, I don't think the February format is really as bad as we think it is. Don't beg the 33.8% of you guys have not smashed the crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we can get to 102,000. So I wanted to talk about the February format in a nutshell and kind of give my thoughts on how things are panning out here very early on. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Scythe Lock. Now, I don't know if you guys have realized this yet or not, if you've played competitively at this point in time. Scythe should have been banned. Thanks, Konami, for making a stupid-ass decision! Alright. Scythe is the driving point of this format. If you can set up a Scythe Lock and establish locking your opponent's extra deck through Phantom Knights, guess what? You win the game, ladies and gentlemen. Yay! But that's not the only deck that's doing it. Phantom Knights aren't the only culprit out here. You got Drytron, you got Eldritch. Yeah, Eldritch is doing the Scythe Lock, by the way, through Dagda. Hi, Dagda. You even have rogue decks, such as Inzectors out here, that have picked up the Scythe Lock, and they're using it. And as I said, this format is definitely defined by Scythe. Any deck that can set up a Scythe Lock will probably do about average, if not above average, on the curve, finishing well in a tournament. So with that being said, that's actually pretty cool. Alright, we're 3 steps closer to getting the Scythe ban. Personally, I've taken a little bit of a backstage for this format because I don't want to punch myself in the face every time I get Scythe locked. And I feel that a lot of players that are playing this format all kind of feel the same way right now, that Konami really shit the bed on not taking care of Scythe. So now Dagda Scythe interactions through, you know, the tier 0 deck in the room being Phantom Knights, that is just that crazy of a powerhouse. It's really interesting because, you know, Phantom Knights might not be tier 0, but it definitely feels like it's a powerhouse deck when you're playing against the rest of the format. So, Scythe domination is there. Now, interesting notes here. Sword Soul has evolved to the point here that we're actually playing the Synchro Toolbox at this point, which actually extends out for Rordon. It's actually kind of crazy because the banning of Protoss with really no other hits, and the loss of Desires. To those of you that are still wondering why Desires got hit, I've said this several times over at this point. It was a Sword Soul hit. Don't be stupid. You guys know that Desires in Sword Soul was a free 2 resources for the deck. It also gave the deck an extra, 1,000 attack points on Chang Yang. That's not an interaction that deck should have going for it, ladies and gentlemen. So, a restrictive hit for resource generation decks, especially in something in the tier 1 category here, that just got free chicken tendies for no reason. All right, and then in addition to it saying, here's an extra 1,000 attack points to Chang Ying, being a generic level 10 synchro that you snapped your fingers for, and you're like, oh yeah, by the way, it's got massive built-in protection for it. Yeah. So as of right now, the deck has evolved to the point of using the Auroradon package and taking advantage of Hulk plays to make the deck way more consistent than, I would say, its previous iterations. It's really weird because, you know, with Protoss, it gave the deck longevity. Now we just kind of traded in that longevity and that BS, you know, floodgate generation to basically just laugh at the opponent and go, no, 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 no. You know, you can still play the game. So consistency is still doing well. Sword Soul is not dead by any stretch of the imagination. It just kind of had to evolve into a more Synchro Toolbox-esque strategy, pretty much with the other Synchro Toolbox decks out there. It's nowhere near as crazy as the OCG iteration of the deck, which they have way more going for them than our variant, but where we're sitting right now, Sword Soul still 100% functional. Now, Flunderies. Now, we just got Journey, and I've seen it's doing its job. Dodgy, me searchy for a card. Haha, you waste hand trap, stinky poo-poo. Now I have map. Now I have additional normal summon. Haha, what do? Ladies and gentlemen, M-Pen is a heck of a card. Scythe Dagda Lock does jack shit to this deck. Problem is, this deck has to play around like a DP at that point, and all this other like fun shenanigans. So, it's a little bit more of an uphill battle, but I feel like at this point in time, this deck got a lot stronger. And I think that's a good thing. Journey did its job in allowing this deck to function better. And as an anti-meta pick right now, at least minus the prosperities, this deck feels a little bit more budget than 95% of the rest of the metagame right now. Honestly, you can just not play prosperities and put in extras, and I feel like you can achieve pretty much the same result. You just lose mobility in your pot of dualities. Next up over here is, you guys remember when we were all pooping our pants, crying about Eldritch and Skill Drain? Wah! Skill Drain's at 3. I hate this format. So, Skill Drain is at 3. There's no denying that at this point in time. The Eldritch results have been a little bit in between, less than I thought they would be. Yeah, I'm sorry that if you're 1-2 at locals and you're playing against the Eldritch player, if you're playing 3 skill drains, I'm sorry that that's your experience, ladies and gentlemen. You shouldn't have been 1-2 at that point in time, right? You probably lost to Scythe Lock and some other stuff. Now you're getting cleaned up by the Eldritch player. But, you know, you're not going to complain about the Scythe Lock, you're going to go complain about the Eldritch player, because inherently 3 skill drains is way more unfair than the Scythe Lock. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players' mental logicness. At least you can out the Scythe, or at least you can out the Eldritch Lock. But, moral of the story here, Eldritch being this back row dominating deck right now really angers people. Oh no, we have to play back row removal. I think at this point in time, Skill Drain was actually fine to return back to the game, at least for Eldritch. It gave one more metagame contender, and actually, hell man, even ABC is now playable because of Skill Drain's existence in the format. So, whether or not you like it or not, that's where we're sitting right now in the format. Now, we do have a new Rogue King on the block here. DDD is the flavor of this month. Holy crap, ladies and gentlemen. The heads that are being turned right now because of DDD in this format is absolutely amazing. Did you guys buy that spreadsheet, by the way, to give you the infinite combo lines? Because I ain't got time to read all of those combo lines. You know, yeah, there was a spreadsheet available that you could get for $25 to learn DDD combo. People were shitting on it, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have time to sit here and learn every combo line. Maybe that $25 was worth it just to have all the information in front of you so that you can learn combo lines. Just saying, doesn't seem like a bad trade-off to me to learn instead of watching infinite YouTube videos. But with that being said here, DDD's crazy burst of playability right now. So many players have actually been picking this deck up and learning it. And I'm actually very impressed with this, ladies and gentlemen. I find people's love for DDD right now to be crazy. I haven't seen a rogue deck. Actually, I think this deck had more love for it right now than Flunderies. I heard jack crap about Flunderies players being excited for Journey now. All I've heard is DDD, 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 DDD combo. Oh my god, like, did you guys see that end board? I've seen some really cool things with DDD, but Flunder players, where are you guys at? You out here slacking really hard in terms of the format. So that being said, yeah, DDD is pretty much the Rogue King now. Now, the Adventure Engine is still pretty much the dominating force of the format behind the Scythe Lock. I hate to tell you this, but the Brave Token Engine / Adventure Engine, getting that free Omni Negate index that can pull it together like Praying Kids, have pushed these decks up to a higher spectrum, and we'll have to wait and see kind of how much further along I would say that you will continue to see the Brave Engine implement. I mean, we have Albaz, you know, a month down the pipeline here, ladies and gentlemen. But with that thought being said here, yeah, I would get your adventure stuff sooner than later, because that engine is just so damn good for modern era Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh no, like I trained off a certain effect in order to not be able to do something. I mean, it sucks to, you know, not be able to resolve normal summon monsters effects, but let's be honest with you. That's the least of your worries when you're setting up an Omni Negate, like a free 4 cards, so you can do whatever you want. So, final thoughts here on the format right now. Even though the format looks massively shitty on paper because of the Scythe Lock, there are a lot of things that are moving in this format right now. Praying Kids, Eldritch, you know, the Adventure Engine did do well. Flunderies is a very good rogue pick. And I understand the frustrations of losing to the Scythe Lock right now. Konami really messed up on that one. But from where we're sitting here, ladies and gentlemen, I think that it's not all that bad. Alright? It's always the Eldritch players' fault out here for ending on those triple skill drains and just shitting in your Wheaties. Right, ladies and gentlemen? So, guys, what do you think about the format thus far? Please, leave a comment down below. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day with some more cool Oz content. Peace out, guys. Patrons! Thank you!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.